Hello guys, how's everyone doing? It's been a while since I made a video. I just been busy here trying to clean up, trying to get rid of some of these cars, and it's taking me a little while to clean all this mess, but I'm getting there. So today I'm working on this. It's a 2015 Nissan Rogue with a 2.5 engine, and I was supposed to do the AC. I mean, I'm already working on it, but they dropped off this car. This car came in running, and the customer parked it over there on that side. And I was trying to move it over here to be under the shade, but the car just keep dying. I'll start it up and it would just die right out, and so I was having a lot of trouble moving it from over there to over here. So I hooked up the scanner and I found out that it had the P0101 code, which is code for the mass airflow sensor. And I was like, well, that's an easy fix. I don't know. I haven't worked on this style, on this model right here. I worked on the older ones. I believe it's like 14 and down. And they are much more simpler. This new cars right here, they are more complex. And I replaced the mass airflow sensor, but I couldn't get rid of the problem. I couldn't get the check engine light to go out, and I couldn't get the car to stay running. But let me show you. I really don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the car. They supposedly brought it over here just to do the AC, but he ended up with a lot more problems than just an AC charge. And let me just show you. So a few months back, I told this gentleman, or the lady, I talked to one or the other, that they needed to replace this battery. So you can see the previous battery was leaking a lot of acid. You can see it was spraying over here too, onto the computer. Onto this computer too, it was spraying acid everywhere. It wasn't that bad. I guess it got really bad this time that they decided to replace the battery after a few months of letting them know that the battery needed to be replaced. If you've seen something like that, guys, just don't wait too long, because when the acid starts coming out of the battery, that means the battery is bad, and it could cause not only damage to your alternator, but it could cause damage to your PCM. So don't wait that long. If you're seeing it's turning like this, all the acid coming out, the terminals are loose, or they started getting corroded, just go ahead and replace it, because you're only gonna get more problems like that. So I think the car died on them, and they had to go get a new battery. So they put a new battery, the car ran, and later after that they started having issues with the car just dying. It'll idle for a little bit and it just died. So I got my scanner and I scanned the PCM, and I found that it had the P0101. And let me show you. Let's start this car. This is a push button. Right now it starts up fine, and it's staying idle. It used to not be able to stay on idle. It would just die. And if I pop it in gear, it would just cut off. but right now it seems to be working fine. Also, one more thing, every time I check for codes, I had the P0101, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and erase that code. So every time I went to clear codes, it says key on, engine off. So I would try to do it with key off, engine running, and it wouldn't do anything. And I try to do it with key on, engine off, and the code would not disappear. I tried it like 5 times and I could not get rid of the code. So what I did is I went to the parts department, and I got this mass airflow sensor. This is a brand new mass airflow sensor, and it's the Hitachi, which is a Japanese brand, and that's what they're using on these vehicles. Let me see, that's the part number right there. You can get it at your local store, or you can get it at the dealer. The dealer is a little more expensive than the local store. I don't know how they do it, how they get the same part for a different price. So, but I was gonna order it from the dealer, but I noticed that the parts department was able to get their hands on the Hitachi. This is the original. As you can see, it's a Hitachi too. So that's what you want to use. You want to use the original part, especially on this vehicles, on any of the Nissans. If you can get it at the dealership, go ahead and get it. Do not buy the aftermarket. Do not buy the Chinese or any other brand, because it's just gonna make your car idle, but your transmission is gonna start acting up. So you can put anything else aftermarket, but not the mass airflow sensor. If you put an aftermarket mass airflow sensor, you're just gonna create more problems. So anyway, I replaced it, and I was like, well, that should be my problem. That should be it, right? Well, I was wrong. So I came back and I went to, let me show you. If you do clear all codes, read by the scan tool. When you click right here, it'll clear every single code that is on your PCM, TCM, body control module, any computer. It will just erase all the codes. So that's what I ended up doing, and I got rid of the check engine light. And I'll start the car again, and it started fine, and later it started cutting off on me again, and the same P0101 code came back. I erased it again, and I tried again and again and again, and the check engine light will not go out, and the car will not smell something, and the car would just die idle. I couldn't get rid of the check engine even with the new sensor. So what I did, I went to clear engine off, key on, engine off, and I went clear all codes read by scan tool. You can do it while the engine is running. You can do it engine off. Let's see, engine on. Excuse me, I'm getting confused myself. Key on, engine off. So let's see. Before continuing, ensure key is on, engine off. So either way, if you choose clear all codes read by scan tool, it's gonna ask you key on, engine off. So let me see. I cannot duplicate the problem right now. It's fixed. I do not want to duplicate the problem because I was having a hard time with this card and I don't want to go through it again. So what I did, I erased all the, see? It's going through all of the modules right now, and it will delete every single code that is stored in your module. This is a Modis Ultra. I had this Modis, I had this scanner for a long time. It's a really good computer, and I use it all the time. I don't even know what I would do if I didn't have this scanner. Yeah, but it takes a little while. It goes through all the modules and everything. Anyway, so going back, I was able to delete the engine, but I did not start the car because I knew the moment I started, the check engine light was gonna come back on. So before I start the car, I think I'm gonna just hit cancel. I don't need to erase all of the codes. I'm just gonna hit cancel, see, because it's gonna take forever. Okay, so clear all codes have been interrupted. Okay, I don't have any codes. I think there's a code on the transmission. Let me see. Let me see if there's a code on the transmission. Uh-oh. You see that? P0101 CVT judder. That code means when you get that code on your transmission, it's no good. That means your transmission is gonna go out. Every time I work on these transmissions, if I get this code, that's it. And if you have like a pressure control solenoid, low pressure, or pressure control valve stuck off or on, forget it. It's time to replace your transmission. But here the transmission is detecting something either on the speed of the pulleys. It's detecting something that is not supposed to be there. So when this code shows up, that means the transmission is going down. It's going downhill. I suggested this customer to do an oil change like 2 years ago, and I don't know if they did it or not. The car right now has 170,000 miles, so I think it's a money issue. That's why they didn't do it. But it'll be cheaper to do it now instead of trying to fix the transmission, because it's like somewhere $3,500, $4,000 to replace this transmission. Anyway, that's not the point. I don't know why I got out of track. So before I start the car, I erased all the codes and I didn't start the car. I went to engine. The reason why I did this is because with the old sensor, I was looking at the readings. And the mass airflow sensor, even when it says it was out of range, the mass airflow sensor was reading. It was reading 5-6 grams per second. So I went to special functions, and I went to auto air volume learn. So the transmission has to be warm up, the car has to be warm up, it has to have a good battery, your AC has to be off, your headlights have to be off, anything electrical has to be off. So right now we're on. Auto air volume learning is it's a function to learn the auto yada. Okay. So now it's telling you turn the switch on and wait at least 2 seconds, but we got the switch on. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it off. Right now it's off, and then we're gonna follow these steps. So we're gonna turn ignition on and wait 2 seconds, and then off, wait 10 seconds. Okay, so here we go. On, 1, 2 seconds. Off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Off again. 1, 2. Off. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we go off again, 2 seconds. And then we're gonna go, excuse me, that's on. We're gonna go off again. 10 seconds. And then we're gonna hit continue. And then we're gonna hit continue again. And we're gonna go on. Let me try it again. Okay. If conditions are met, key on, engine running. Okay, so we're gonna start the car. Continue. Testing progress. So it's on 2 seconds, on 2 seconds, off 10 seconds, on 2 seconds, off 10 seconds, like 3 times. And then you, after the third time being off for 10 seconds, then you turn it on, and that's when the test starts. So it says right there, test completed. We are idle, and just to make sure, I'm gonna exit right here, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna look for codes. No codes. I already took this car for a test drive, and I have no codes. We're gonna do a code scan, and this is gonna tell us everything. See, the transmission code will not go away, no matter what you do, no matter what scanner you use. That's not gonna go away. This transmission is having a problem. The computer is picking it up, and the customer decided not to do anything about it. So I don't think this transmission is gonna run too long before it goes out. You have to remember, in these cars, you have to do the maintenance. You have to replace the filters at least once every 3 years. The filters, you're supposed to do every 60,000 miles. So depending how much you're driving, somebody can drive 60,000 miles in 3 years. Somebody can drive 60,000 miles in 5 years. So do your all your changes of CVT fluid change every 30,000 miles, and your filters every 60,000 miles. So I have no codes. Before that, I will just turn off the car, start the car, and the check engine light will be on right away, and the car will die. So, and let me show you right here, because this is how I understood what I needed to do. I bought the first mass airflow sensor, and it was throwing the same code. It was doing the same thing. So I was like, I think they gave me a faulty mass airflow. So I sent it back. I got a new one, and it was still doing the same thing again. So I don't believe it was gonna be P0 fuel metering. Let me see. P0 fuel and air metering. P0101. Notice what it says right here. It says P0101 sets when ECM detects a high voltage signal from mass airflow sensor under light load. High voltage signal under light load driving condition, or low voltage signal under heavy load driving condition. It reads the voltage. My scan 2 does not give me the voltage. It only gives me the grams per second. But this is how it works. It detects high voltage, and it also detects low voltage at high RPMs. This is a hot film type sensor that measures the air mass of the incoming intake air charge. So let me see, it says right here, when ECM detects a high voltage signal from mass airflow sensor under light load driving conditions, or low voltage signal under heavy load driving conditions. Possible causes: faulty mass airflow, it says open or short in mass airflow circuit, inter-air leaks. So I believe I had a bad mass airflow sensor, because with the original mass airflow I was getting right around 7 grams. And let me show you with this one. With this one I was getting golly. Okay, we're gonna go to data. Let me see. I know this video is kind of long, just hang in there with me. I'm trying to make it as short as possible, but I'm just trying to walk you step by step. That way you don't make the same mistake. I didn't call it a mistake, but it just took me too long to figure this one out. And that way you're not getting frustrated, because I was getting frustrated with this car. See, it doesn't give me the volts, but it gives me the grams. So right now I'm at 2.5, 2.6, 2.4 grams per second, and I don't see any voltage, and it does not give me voltage. I believe it's supposed to be idle. You're supposed to be within 1.0 and 1.6 volts. So right now I'm not able to see the voltage with my scanner. Maybe a Nissan scanner has the voltage, but mine doesn't. But it seems to be working fine. See, my air temperature is around 96 Fahrenheit, which I believe that's right. It's pretty damn hot out here, and that's my intake air temperature, and my what is it, throttle position, load, mass airflow is somewhere between 2.4 2.6, and it seems that the car likes the air rate, so I'm not sure what the voltage for 2.4 2.6 will be, but I'm assuming that we are within range. Normally since started working on cars. Normally it's between 4.5, 5 grams. But I don't know if you guys got the answer. Put them on the comments. This is my first time working on one of these vehicles, and this car has a lot of sensors. And I had never paid attention to the grams per second on these vehicles. I always thought it was gonna be like between 4 and 5, but this one is between 2.4, 2.5, and it seems to be liking it. There's no dying down anymore. I already went to the store, back and forth. I took it for a test drive, and the problem seems to be solved. So, see, what I believe will happen is that when they were having problems with the battery, and they swap out this battery right here, the throttle body might have got this program. Well, I don't know if that's the right word to say, but I had to relearn the throttle body in order to have the mass airflow sensor to work properly. So with the other mass airflow sensor, it was reading like 5, 6, 7 volts, and this one is reading like 2.4. So I believe that's right, because the car is running fine, and I haven't had any issues since I did the mass airflow and relearned the throttle body. So I'm assuming if you replace the battery and your car start acting up, just go ahead and start by deleting the codes and try to relearn your throttle body first, because that sensor right there is almost $300. So before you do any of that, try to delete the code, erase the code from the PCM, and try to relearn your mass airflow and see what it does. And if it doesn't work, then you have no other option than to go to get a new mass airflow sensor, because to be honest, right here there's nothing, there's no fuse, there's nothing. I went through the all data diagrams, and those 4 wires go directly to the PCM, which the PCM is right here, and it looks like it was getting covered on battery acid. So but that's it, guys. This car is running fine. It took me like half a day to figure this out. I finally got it right. I don't know, I might be wrong, but whatever I did, it worked, and it's working fine. So we're back to the we're gonna do the AC. I don't know why the AC, it has no freon, but we're gonna figure that one out. It'll probably be another half a day on it too. Thank you for watching, guys. Y'all have a good one. See you next time.